What is up, guys, and welcome back to another Transformers video here today. And today we are going to be diving into all of the Transformers who participated in the IACON 5000. In Transformers 1, we of course saw that the IACON 5000 was a citywide race officiated by Sentinel Prime himself, which happened all across IACON City on a self-forming track full of twists, turns, drops, and obstacles. Miners were given the day off of work just so they could watch as well. Orion Pax roped himself and D16 into joining the race unannounced as it began, with the aim of showing all of Cybertron that miners were capable of more than just the menial labor. They almost succeeded in the seemingly impossible endeavor, approaching the finish line ahead of all the other racers, but lost their near victory when Orion went back to help and injured D16 in the hopes of passing the finish line together. The pair were overtaken and blown out of the way by Chromia, who was announced the winner, and seconds later, everyone else behind her. Throughout the course of the race, we are of course focused on D16 and Orion, so we don't really get to see every bit of who else is in this race, but from what we can see, along with the flashes of the scoreboard, we know a lot of the Transformers who participated. And just to quickly add in, for those of you who are awaiting the part 2 towards the Reign of Starscream comic coverage that I did last week, don't worry, that will be the next video I put out, so stay tuned very soon. But really, let's just take it from the top. I'm going to show each screenshot one at a time, and then I'll pretty much throw pictures up on screen of who each Transformer is. Some of them I'll add some more description. Others will be pretty obvious who they are. But let's take it from the top. In this screenshot, even though it's cut out, first place at this point is Mirage, followed by Blowout, Clamp Down, Silverbolt, High Beam, Dead End, Slingshot, The Miners, Override, Double Clutch, Mean Streak, Cliff Jumper, and Motor Mouth. So definitely got some names on this list. To me, the ones that stand out the most would of course be Silverbolt, Dead End, Cliff Jumper. Now, Cliff Jumper, what is interesting about Cliff Jumper is I would have assumed going into the movie that he would be one of the cogless bots, because we of course know that Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee almost always look similar in a lot of the continuities, because they pretty much are the same with just a different head sculpt. But I would have assumed he'd be one of the cogless bots milling around with the other soon-to-be Autobots, the miners in the barracks and stuff. But I was looking for him throughout the course of the movie, and I just noticed now that he was on the list as a racer. So I hope that he comes back in the next movie and we can actually see what he looks like, because I would have loved to see the cogged design of Cliff Jumper, because now I'm going to assume that the Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper will look significantly different. So definitely gonna be paying attention for that going into Transformers 2. And Silverbolt. Silverbolt, I'm a big fan of Silverbolt, one of the aerial bots. He's my favorite. And another aerial bot who is, I don't think I have him on one of these screenshots here, but Jetfire / Skyfire. And I'll say that because on the board, it's a cool little Easter egg. It says Jetfire, but the announcer in the movie actually says Skyfire. Of course, the original name, for those who know. Moving on to the next one here, we have arguably our craziest three-piece when it comes to Transformers, when it goes bang, bang, bang. But first, and in this list, we have in first place Scattershot, second place Jetstorm. This is when the Miners made it into third place. Then you have fourth place Motormaster, fifth place Mirage, sixth place Hot Rod. Now, 4, 5, 6, I would have loved to see these guys' designs in the movie. Mirage, Hot Rod, come on, are you kidding me? We had Hot Rod in this movie and we didn't even get to see him. I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch the actual sequence of the race itself and see if I could spot a Transformer with a similar color scheme, maybe I feel like if there was some Flames design, we would have seen that. But Hot Rod, Mirage, I would have loved to see the Mirage in this, and Motormaster. I want to see if that design is similar to Optimus Prime's final design, or if they're going to go with something more original. Same thing with like the Cliff Jumper thing. Moving on to the next part, though, this is where we have two people carrying over with the Miners and Scattershot, but we have a new list of people being Jolt. Awesome to see Jolt is finally making his way back in. Jolt was a background character in the Bayverse, and a lot of people are like, we need some more Jolt love. And while he doesn't really do anything, he is here in the movie, at least on the board. But then we have Stax, Inferno, and Tankor. I would have liked to see Inferno again, but this just proves there are plenty of Transformers that they could pull into the sequel, and it would make total sense. I mean, they're chilling on Cybertron, clearly, so much potential in this list of racers. Next up, we got a couple more G1 boys making their reappearance with Power Glide and Blur. Then we got Jetstorm, Road Rocket, Afterburner, Fireflight, and Corden. Now, all I will say when it comes to Blur, And even my boy Powerglide, these dudes should not be this far down in the race. They are getting absolutely gassed. But one cool thing that I should have pointed out earlier that is pretty cool is that you can see the, I guess you could say, color schemes of these Transformers. Because if you look at them, the two colors they show for everybody they're accurate. They're accurate towards what the color scheme should be. And you see even with some other bots looking back at some of these other ones, you got like Jolt. Jolt is all blue, so he doesn't even have the alternate color schemes with the two stripes. He's just all blue. And if you look at these other guys, like Powerglide, that's accurate, red and white. You got Blur with that light blue and the white. These are all accurate. So please, please, let us get some of these guys in the next movie. Moving on to the next one, we have some interesting additions on this page, specifically the Transformer of Windblade, who again, extremely unique design, and I would have loved to see what Windblade looks like in this continuity, in this animation style, along with some new additions with Dragstrip, Swerve, Powerglide again, Jetstorm again, Road Rocket, and then Windblade, of course, and Afterburner. But Windblade, I would have loved to see what the Windblade they went with in this one. Because, of course, we had plenty of fembots. We had RC, Chromia, Elita as one of the main characters. But Windblade is one of those ones who is not like kind of the triplet. She doesn't look necessarily like those other fembots. I would have loved to see the unique design that Windblade has. Now, on to the final screenshot I have. And I wish that top one was not cut off. I can't really, maybe, is that breakdown maybe? That looks like it ends with down, and I think that's breakdown. If you look, that would be interesting, because you look at that, you got breakdown and swindle right next to each other. Swindle, I was just going to say, and tailgate, look at that. I'm going to guess that's breakdown, even though we could barely see the bottom of it. I'm going to go breakdown, swindle, tailgate, light speed, spin out, the miners, and grease pit. Now, swindle. My God, I need to see Swindle in the next movie, because we got the yellow and purple color scheme, which is something I have wanted back in my life for a long time. I need that OG Swindle, and if there's Swindle, you know that means the rest of them are out there. You know that means we are going to get, at some point, the Combaticons. I need them. Please, I love the Constructicons, but we've gotten a lot of Constructicon love. Give us the Combaticons. Give us Swindle. Give us Onslaught. Give us Vortex. Give us Brawl. And how could I forget my boy Blast Off? Give them to us. But guys, this is it. Short and sweet. Keeping it short and sweet with this video. What do you think about all of these Transformers who we did not get to see most of them? Although, now that we know a lot of these guys are in here, it's going to be interesting going back in the rewatch, looking for specific Transformers, knowing the ones to be looking for. And I cannot wait for this movie to be on digital, or more likely than that, Paramount within the next couple months. Hopefully they leave it in theaters, though. Let it stay in theaters. Let it keep racking up money. Slowly but surely, we're going to get this money to a profit. Go see the movie again if you haven't. And tell your friends, tell your family that Transformers 1 is definitely a movie worthy of seeing. But when it comes to the race, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What is your favorite Transformer you've seen in the race? What are some other Transformers you want to see or wanted to see, who you thought probably could have been a perfect contender for the race? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Likes, dislikes, anything is appreciated. Thank you so much for the recent support. And until next time, peace.